Hi, it's Melissa, and I'm so happy to be back with you on the Scrappery channel. Today I have a layout that is made with my Belle kit. I'm down to the scraps now, and I've just pulled out a few things that I think I want to use. I have no full sheets of paper left, I have no full set of embellishments left, and I love the challenge of making something from not much. So what I'm doing is an 8x8 page for my Grateful album. Grateful was my word for last year, and I have, I think, probably a couple more layouts to go in this album and it'll be finished. So what I need is an 8x8 piece of paper. I decided that rather than use a white piece of cardstock, I'd use one of these pieces of pattern paper, and I love this one. It looks like sprinkles on a cake or a cupcake, or it looks like confetti. As you can see, the first project I'd made was that cupcake album, and I'd cut with my silhouette the shape of a cupcake, so I don't have any pieces that are 8x8. So what I need to do is stitch it together or doctor it to fit, and I just want to use a strip of pattern paper on the edge there to cover up that bit that's been cut away, and when you look at my final page you'd never know that I had doctored it. So I looked at my options and I decided that this piece from the back of one of the cut aparts would suit the best, and so I just cut the strip. I didn't measure it, and now I'm just putting some double-sided tape down, and I don't want that entire piece of that I've cut, that strip, to be on there. I just want the barest of minimum just to cover that piece and make up the 8x8 size. So here I'm just, I put double-sided tape quite close together and just sticking that down, lining it up with the side. I'm trimming off the excess from the bottom, and then I'm using my trimmer just to get the 8x8 size. So I'd done it slightly wrong the first time, you'll see, and then I pull out the side of my trimmer to get the 8x8 exactly. If you can hear my kids in the background, I'm really sorry. It's school holidays. They are fighting. I'm a bit over it. We're in our last week, and they know I'm in here doing this, and I think they're fighting on purpose because I told them not to come in. So yeah, that's just life at the moment. I wanted to use this card, Bloom Where You Are Planted. These photos are of a poster that my husband made for me and stuck in our bathroom last year when I was really, really sick in the pregnancy. If you don't know, I had hyperemesis gravidarum, which is basically all day and night nausea and vomiting. I had it for 9 months, so it was extremely challenging. So because we're Christian, he put some scripture up on the wall so that basically when I was in the bathroom, I would look at the wall and read the scripture. And he also drew that little photo of our family, which I love, and it's got me with a baby in my tummy. Sorry guys, the screaming here is actually getting ridiculous. Must apologize for that again. So I needed something to separate those photos from that background paper, and I decided to use this one with a smaller repeating pattern on it. I find that scrapping a portrait and a landscape photo is quite difficult, and I remember Chamel, when she did a glitter girl one for 2 Peas in a Bucket, I think it was that, she talked about the struggle that she has with scrapping 2 different sized photos, but you can make it work. It's just a matter of playing around and seeing what's going to look best. So I wanted to add a bit of interest on the bottom of this paper. I've got this really old border punch with flowers or partial flowers, and I'm using that, and I just think it adds a little bit of whimsy to what is quite a blocky page. This page is not amazingly beautiful. It's not artistically special. It's pretty much just recording the story that I want to tell, and so that's why I'm just getting it done. I find photos like this quite challenging because they are so plain, although they are really special to me because I can't keep the actual poster that he made because it's been up. I've kept it up because it means a lot to me, but I do want to take it down. So I've just captured the 2 favourite bits of that poster. It's quite big. It's like it's bigger, like maybe A3 or more, A5 maybe sized. So because these photos are so plain, they don't have much detail in them, there's no colour in them, I find that challenging. I know some people scrap black and white photos all the time, and because that allows a lot more play with colour, or the colours in the photos don't work, but I actually find it harder not to have a colour photo. So I looked at that vellum and I've picked it up for every single project that I've made. I've only managed to use it once for that cupcake album. So I don't know why I'm struggling with it. It could be because it's got a busy floral pattern on it, and a lot of these patterns are busy, but I'm still keeping it in my stash. This is probably the last project that I'm making with this kit now, and then I'll just add all the leftovers to my stash. I may even do a layout share video on my channel, which I'll link below, because I did make so much with this kit. So I've just put some pattern paper around those photos, I think because they are so plain they needed something, and the floral works really well in a small amount, so you can't really tell it's a floral, it just provides a multicolour pattern. And this is where it is quite difficult with two different sized photos. I didn't want to overlap the photos, so I've left a gap, and I will fill that in with this bit of chipboard which says follow your dreams, because although I was so sick, it was a dream to have one last baby, and following my dream meant having to go through a season of being really chronically ill. So I love this tag and I'm so glad to use it. It's a sticker off the sticker sheet, and so I'm just positioning it, and then I want to lift up the end of it. I need to punch out a little hole, and then I'm going to use some just some pop dots behind it to lift it up, and that enables me to put some twine through it as well. And because I don't want to have too much journaling on this page, I mean you can read what's written on the photos, I just want enough journaling space to say how grateful I was that Sean made this for me, and the kids actually, they drew stuff on here as well, so it was their pictures and things on there too. So I'm using a couple of these phrase stickers. I think one said picture perfect and the other one said believe in yourself. Picture perfect underneath the family photo and believe in yourself. I struggled with where to put it at first because it is a longer phrase, but in the end I put it above that photo, and that's some scripture about, I think it's about how to push through when you're not feeling well. So doing my journaling now with my favourite pen, or pens. I bought, my local stationer stopped stocking these pens, so I went and bought as many as I could. I think I bought 6 packets of 3, so I will be sad when they do run out. I'll have to find them somewhere else. And then these 2 chipboard butterflies I'm using because they add extra dimension. They don't really have anything to do with the story, but they're beautiful and they add extra dimension, like I said. I did have trouble sticking this down. When I peeled it off, I found sometimes chipboard will lift away, and so I peeled off the bits that had lifted away, and if you just put glue on it, it'll stick eventually. So there's a little sticker, and I'm putting the date on there. I'm not putting the actual date, I'm just putting April 2016 because that was when I started being really, really sick and spent a lot of time in hospital. Gluing the other butterfly down, and I think that's nearly it. Brielle's just come along to say hello. I'll help you in a sec. And so now I'm just looking at that chipboard again. It's really decimated. There's hardly anything left. I don't want to use the term lovely because really being that sick is not a lovely experience. I've got a little bow that came in one of the pretty little pieces. I've just put that down with a glue dot. And my final step is to put these enamel shaped dots down, and I finished the packet, so I was really happy with that. That is my final packet onto my album, and I'm planning to have an album share over on my own personal channel because it's got lots of different pages from different kits. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back next week.